Good morning, guys. 6:14, early morning sunrise hike. Let's do this. All right, we survived the four-wheel driving up this crazy icy path. And now we're gonna hike up there somewhere. Not a bad view. Make it to the top. Mike, how are you feeling?
I'm really cold. Wasn't this supposed to be in Hawaii?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was Hawaii.
Sounds pretty good right now, not gonna lie.
Yola, Niles, and Anakin, they were troopers and they hiked up to the top. We got freaked out.
Calling us out.
Now we're just stuck on the mountain, freezing our butts off. Hopefully we survive.
The drone shots are great though, not gonna lie.
That's true. We did contribute. We got some epic drone shots of them up there, so I think we get some points for that. But yeah, if we freeze on the mountain and die, we love you guys. We love you, internet. We love the world. Send our wishes to everybody. Bye. Mike, I guess we're doing the walk of shame.
Yeah. Super fun, dude.
We're literally walking down now the mountain. I just slipped. Oh gosh. I love it. How are those sliding techniques there?
Dude, super glad I brought my Vans.
That's California.
Oh,
outdoor gear right there.
Out. Oh, brutal.
Supposedly they found a better trail. Oh man.
Classic.
We made it, Mike. We didn't die.
Yeah.
We didn't die.
Dude, so
Here,
good.
High five.
My thumb.
How'd it go, y'all?
Good. This is so cool. I mean, I think the update is I can't feel my feet. It was really cold up top, but it's one of those things that like sucks while you're doing it, but then after you're like, dude, remember that time? Remember that time that we climbed that mountain and it sucked? Like, how funny was that?
Exactly.
So, good.
Mr. California, take us home.
Yeah.
Drive us down these snowy.
I'm gonna go ahead and take us home.
Take us home.
Daddy's taking us home.
Take me home. Anakin, you're a trooper today on the mountain.
We're matching.
That's true, we are. I gotta say, Anakin was a lot more boss than we were. We didn't even get up the mountain. She went up and down. But I gotta say, you're so lightweight that you didn't even sink into the snow.
Oh, whatever.
So, unfair advantage. When you're pudgy like me, you sink.
I saw the top from the drone. It looked great. Glad I stayed at the bottom.
All right, ready to go. Okay, just start laying stuff out.
Screw on that ND filter. All right, the boys are just getting that epic B-roll right now of Joel and finishing up the Moment Lessons course. And I just wanted to come outside and show you what I'm using today, my setup. Polar Pro Peter Mckinnon ND filter. This is a must-have when you are vlogging and doing some run and gun shooting. It can easily change your exposure when you're shooting. Now, depending on where you are at in the filmmaking process, you might have been wondering while you're watching the vlog, what in the world was he screwing off his lens? What filter was that? And the filter I was using is the Peter Mckinnon variable ND filter made by Polar Pro. Now basically a variable ND filter is a filter that allows you to be in control of your exposure. Because often when you're shooting outdoors, for example, it's really bright out, and in order to compensate for the exposure, you're having to crank up your shutter speed really high, or you're having to put your aperture to a high number like 5.6, so you're not able to get that shallow depth of field. Ideally, when you are shooting video, you want to always double your frame rate with the shutter speed. So for example, if you're filming 24 frames per second, you should have a shutter speed of 50. Or if you're filming at 60 frames per second to get that slow motion, your shutter speed should be 120. And the reason why you want to double your frame rate is that's how you get that cinematic motion blur. That's how you get the cinematic look to your footage. As well, if you want to have that nice shallow depth of field, you need to be using apertures like 1.4, 1.8 in order to get that really shallow depth of field. But the problem with that is that you're getting a whole bunch of light. So in order to have double the shutter speed to get that cinematic look, and as well to have the depth of field that you want, you need to use a variable ND filter to darken your footage. Now I can show you how an ND filter actually works in practice. Right now it is at 0 stops of light, and as I rotate the filter to 5, it gets darker. You can even see it right here on my face. This is at 0, and then at 5, it gets darker. That's all that an ND filter is doing. It's a small thing that's doing, but it makes a huge impact on the look of your footage. That's gonna allow you to get that nice cinematic look and the shallow depth of field that you want without having to crank up the shutter speed or the aperture. Now, testing out the Peter Mckinnon variable ND filter made by Polar Pro, there was a few things that I really liked about this filter. The first thing that I really liked about the filter is that on the side of the filter, you have a number dial from 0 to 5, which shows you how many stops of light you're dropping your footage. Now, with many other variable ND filters, you kind of just have these weird dots or some sort of just scale, but you don't really know precisely where you're at with the stops of light. And I love this about the Polar Pro filter because, well, if you can count to 5, you know where you're at when it comes to how many stops of light you're dropping with the variable ND filter. The second thing I've really liked about Peter Mckinnon's variable ND filter is just how nicely this is built. It's super sturdy, it's super durable, it's not plasticky like sometimes you get with the variable ND filter, and I think it shows as well with the quality when you're filming with the ND filter. So that's number 3 that I love about the filter. When I was filming with this variable ND filter, I wasn't noticing any weird color kind of pigmentation or mess ups. Sometimes when you use certain variable ND filters, the corners go really weird, and I wasn't getting that with this variable ND filter. Now, the one downside about this variable ND filter is that you need to choose between 2 different versions. You have the 2 to 5 stops of light, or you have the 5 to 9 stops of light. And I got the 2 to 5 stops of light, and I noticed that when I'm outside in a really bright sunny day, 5 stops of light just wasn't enough to keep me at a really high aperture like 1.4 and to keep my shutter 50. So I would definitely suggest maybe getting the 5 to 9 stops of light if you're shooting outside a lot and using the variable ND filter for that. Minor thing, but it is a little bit of a hassle if someone has to buy 2 different ND filters for quite a high price. It might be just too much for you guys. So that was the one downside of this variable ND filter. But all in all, it looks really great, really practical, really easy to use. Looks great when it comes to the footage coming to your camera. So definitely, if you don't have a variable ND filter yet, please get one. Don't crank your shutter so high. Double the frame rate, keep your aperture a nice low number like 1.4 to get that nice shallow depth of field. If you guys are interested in getting the Peter Mckinnon variable ND filter, I'll make sure to link that below so you can just buy it straight from the link. As well, I just want to thank you guys for being a part of vlog number 2 from Norway. Hopefully you enjoyed the vlog and that it was entertaining. If you are new to the channel, make sure that you hit that subscription button so that you can stay up to date on the latest videos. Alright guys, have a fantastic week.